Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. This is Howie, and I'm here to help you win with money. Today is October 23rd, 2021. This is the end of week number 42. So what I want to do is, as normal, I will just go through my ETrade transaction logs and paste those into a spreadsheet and pivot the data. The markets did end mixed. You see this, the Dow is up. That's a new high for the Dow. S&P crossed a new high yesterday and it went down a little bit. And NASDAQ, you see, is down the most. But it was a good week. This is about the third week of gains, so things are looking really good. But as always, markets can easily turn back down. If you're on Facebook, join me at this Financially Fit Club. It's a Facebook group where you can chat about anything finances. Let's go straight to ETrade. First thing I do is copy the transactions here. Go straight to my spreadsheet here. I always leave some room here, so I'm going to paste here. And there goes my transactions. There's more to paste in. And here's the other one. I just have to go grab this. Again, I remove all those useless, I remove everything that's useless afterwards. So you'll see this real quick. Just go here. I'm going to paste that in, and then you see everything where it says these useless ones, I'm going to remove everything, add in some columns that I need for pivoting. So that took me a little bit of time. It's like 15-20 minutes of editing. I've basically make sure all these values are set correctly because I use these for pivoting. And then I do use formulas in here to pull. This is the ETrade description, and this is from ETrade. So all this is from ETrade, and then I added my own columns, and then these are my own columns, so I can do a filtering. And I also number every trade, and then I add in some date math, so I can figure out how many days to expiration. As you can see, this week I had a lot of iron condor fixing. You can see that here. So, but I lost money, I believe. So let's find out. Let's go straight to the pivot answer. So I'm going to hit the save button. Go to the very top. Just scroll over here. And then I'm going to hit the refresh button on this. And there you go. And I want to make sure everything is right. So as you can see, the way the pivot data shows, there are 5 days last week. And you can see that on Thursday, I showed a huge loss. So this is a big loss, and a lot of it was because I was trying to repair some of those bad trades, and most of those were from iron condor that were tested, and I experienced probably a 2 or 3x loss, and you can see that based on the numbers here. So this is not a good week, but I expected that, and let's see how the data, let me finish the rest. Let's go to the other tabs. Let's go here, let's hit the refresh button, and you can see that. So now my running total for the month now is a negative. So I actually end up losing money. And I'm back down to $24,000 now. So I finally updated week number 42. This is what it looks like. I did 29 trades. I'm up to 1,134 because I lost money. You can see my P&L per trade took a big drop. I'm down to $21.41 per trade on average. Based on this projection, on this week, I'm up to 1,400. But we'll see how that goes because I'm afraid of what's going to happen going forward. Now, some people ask, well, how can I lose money? If the last 3 weeks of markets have been up, how can I lose money? So and actually I need to mark this red because I lost money on this week. So this is no longer green. This is going to be red now. And the last question is, again, how did I lose money? So what happened was the market was testing new highs, and it moved way faster than I expected on the upside. And a lot of my iron condors, what I was doing the last 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was rolling the call side down closer to the market price. And I did not expect to hit new highs, and so some of my SPY ones were like 451 or 452 or 453. I don't remember exactly what it was. But I rolled it down where, and that was 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I didn't know. And obviously, I did a bad thing, and it cost me a couple $1,000 this week. So while markets were up, I actually lost money on options trading. So let's take a look at the November 19 iron condor. Let me show you what happened this week. I end up closing it with 29 days, and you can see it cost me $3,500 to close. Now, what you want to look at is how much did I collect up front. So up here you see I collected 1,400, or if you just look at the math here, I collected a dollar for each contract, but it cost me $2.50 to close. And the part that really killed me is this here. On week 40 I opened this up. On week 41 I was rolling the untested side. So back here it was untested, and then come 2 weeks later I was rolling the put side up. But in the end, what happened was when the market hit new highs, basically it was pricing that, hey, it's possible that it may cross the 459. So I end up losing money on this particular trade, and this is a big one. You can see that the total net is a loss of 1,500. But I have other ones that are similar to this, and that's the same thing that happened. I end up losing money on those trades. Now you got to let the math play out, because remember, it's so easy to just to say, it's hard to take a loss, but you got to trust the math, and that over the weeks and the years that everything will smooth itself out. Because there were several weeks ago where I was making money even though most people are losing money, and that was in September. So now that the market is moving up, you can see that I do take a little bit more risk on the call side, and this week I end up paying for it. So in the next trade, I use a filter on SOFI. So you can see here's all the moves that I did for SOFI. Small gain for SOFI this week, $44. But like I said, I will lose some opportunity costs on my covered calls. SOFI ran up past $20 and actually crossed into 21. So I have to do some adjustments. I don't want to lose upside, so I have to do some adjustment. Now, if you look at the last couple of weeks, by scrolling up, you see I'm still making money in SOFI. Now, this is just options data. So obviously, if I'm using a cover call, I made money on the underlying. But the goal is not to limit your gains just to 1 or 2 or 4 or 5 or 20%, whatever it may be. I'm trying to adjust it. I will use other things to pay for it. So by using, I can make money on the put side, use some of that premium to pay for the rolling of the cover call on the call side. So that's what I'm doing here. Let's look at another trade. So here's a look of Visa. I'm playing iron condors on Visa, and you can see that I actually had 2 sets of Visa. There's one with a 5 contract and one with a 2 contract. The problem is on one of them, you can see it got tested and it was really bad. So if you look at the net, I really didn't make much. I actually showed a small loss. But over time, if you just expand this up, you'll see that over time I am making Visa. Now Visa moves a lot, and so I have to play Visa much more conservatively, and that's my mistake. I actually use the distance between my short put and my short call was a little bit too narrow, and I have learned that over the last 6 months. So going forward, I have to keep it a little bit wider. I'm hoping to adjust my strategy on some of these tickers, because once you understand how to play it, I love Visa as a business. I don't think there's a lot of downside. Again, I'm picking the wrong strike prices, and it's causing me to lose money, and obviously market volatility doesn't help. So overall, it was a really tough week, and I expect the pain to go on for another week or two, because don't forget, trades that you put on 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago will come due, and you have to close them. And so the reality is, when you track all your data, you're still about 3 to 4 weeks behind. So a lot of my trades are anywhere from 40 to 60, 70 days out. And then when you let 3 or 4 weeks go by, you don't know if you're making money or losing money until you close them out. And remember, over time, if you track everything on a spreadsheet, then you can sort of see where you realistically fall in. It's possible I'll end the year at under 20,000 out of profit. So I can still lose several grand between here and the end of the year. So again, because the data is a little bit lagging, is a few weeks behind. So let's see what happens. I actually do need the market to just sort of flatten out and do nothing from here on out. And then that will tell me, hey, I'll end the year close to where you see the numbers, 24,000. This is part of trading. Again, I display all my data. I'm not going to just I don't remove transactions from my log just to show my winners. There are times where I lose, and that's just the facts of my trading strategy. And again, I don't need to win on every trade. I didn't experience max loss. Max loss on that particular trade, I don't remember, was that a 13 contract? max loss would have been $13,000. I didn't experience max loss, but I did lose $3,000 or $3,500 to close that particular trade. If you minus the 1,400 that I collected up front, I still lost 1,600. So I lost more than all the premium I collected, so it was a loss. And anyway, hopefully you learned something here. Again, I don't hide any transactions. I have done over 1,100 transactions so far this year. And again, I don't claim to make 100% profit on all my trades. I just need about an 80 percentile. Even with the losses, I need to just catch them early so that I don't experience back losses, and that will work. With that being said, hopefully you enjoy something in this video. Give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share it with a friend. Don't forget, let's do this together. Let's do this $1 at a time. As always, have a profitable day. Bye-bye.